Hello everyone and welcome to another episode of Careful for Spoilers. I am your host James Barnes, and today guys I'm joined once again by my co-hosts Lola and Brad as we talk about our favorite moments from D23 2019. This was really fun. We got a lot of cool stuff. We talked about Comic-Con a couple episodes back. That was a lot of fun. I did not expect this much from D23, but I mean when you have an entire event just on Disney, you have to bring something. So what are your overall thoughts on D23 this year?
What is this? I'd never participated in D23 before, you know what I mean? I'd never been like, yeah, let's go to the Disney Expo. So I thought it was super cool. There was a lot of stuff. A lot of the trailers that they released got me really hyped for what's coming. I already went ahead and bought the 3 years of Disney Plus that you can get like 1 year for free if you pay up front. I don't do that, guys. I love keeping my money in the bank. I'm basically Scrooge McDuck. But after D23, I was like, let's do this.
It just makes sense.
It
too.
makes sense.
Like, you do save like $110.
You do.
It's amazing. I was blown away with that they're coming out of the gate with that offer.
Yeah, that was dope. Like I'm still waiting for them to give us like better combinations of like Hulu and Disney Plus, because right now you can get the two, but you have to have Hulu with ads, and I am way against Hulu.
There's
with
no
ads.
way.
I
I'm
hate
never
ads.
going back. I'm never going. I'm a good person, and I don't have to watch those ads. I should get cable if I want to sit there and watch some ads.
Exactly, and there's so many ads on Hulu with ads too. Like I'm not going back to that way of life.
Yeah,
We have come too far.
I will pay the $15, and I will just pay the extra $7,
Exactly.
so I can have Hulu and Disney Plus. I'm not paying that.
Well, it's like when Spotify offered Hulu for free if you had a Spotify family deal, but it was the one with ads. I was like, I just won't eat Taco Bell once a week, and I'll pay for both of them. Thanks.
Exactly.
Seriously though,
It's not that expensive.
just don't eat out for one week and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
So the first thing that I wanted to talk about was the poster for The Rise of Skywalker.
Yes.
This poster is absolutely insane. Emperor Palpatine is my favorite Star Wars character of all time, and to see him making his return to this, it's absolutely insane. What are your thoughts on the poster?
Is it December 20th yet?
Right?
You know, like it's very minimal, but it's also very loud, and it's such an exciting thing. I don't know how Palpatine is coming back. I'm here for all of this. I love Rey versus, I'm assuming, Ren, and then him in the background. It's everything that you want in a Star Wars poster.
Yeah, it's absolutely gorgeous. The two colors colliding in the middle.
The light and the dark. It's so sick.
It's amazing.
I think, so what did you guys think? Did you see the D23 special look? So I think that Rey that we saw is a clone.
Yeah, I'm in the same boat.
I think she's a clone made from Sidious, or it could just be a Force vision. If she goes down this path, this is what'll happen. I'm hoping it's a clone, though.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, I might be weird, I was thinking Force vision, or her being like infected with Palpatine's spirit, like some kind of weird possession thing. I don't think we're going to get a fully evil Rey. Like, I don't think that that's where the series is going, but it was a surprise to see that. You were like, whoa. And it's the double-sided. It's a cool shot, but it leaves you with so many questions.
Yeah, I think if that is actual, like, something that happens, then I would love to see the flip of Kylo going back to the light side and having Rey go to the dark side, if they're going to do that.
I would love that.
See, I would think that was a little silly.
Really?
Yeah, I would be like, no, I'm not here for it. Some positivity. I want them both to be on the light side, and he and his weird torso and her can get married.
I do want redemption for Kylo. Like,
I want redemption for him because I want redemption for Han.
Yeah.
In both the Star Wars and the Fast and the Furious trilogy.
Justice for Han in both.
Everybody, all Han, all the time.
It's interesting, though, because in The Force Awakens and The Last Jedi, you can see that Ben is constantly fighting between the light and the dark. I think it would be interesting in The Last Jedi, Rey was kind of fighting with that dark side. So I, too, would love to see that kind of switch, but I don't think they'll do it. for two reasons. One, I don't think you bring, like, I don't want to call her the first, like, female lead, because we do have Leia. She was is an extremely powerful force in the Star Wars universe, but this is Rey as a Jedi wielding a lightsaber, fighting on the front lines with everyone else, and I think that her going to the dark side would not be a good thing for the audience. I don't think the audience would like that, much like what they think about Daenerys' turn in Game of Thrones. I don't think people really like that she turned evil, if you will, and I don't think that Disney will do that in Star Wars. I don't know.
I think that it would be acceptable if they did it right. You know, and I get what you're saying. Like, right now, with the society as it is, maybe people wouldn't be lining up to see the first female Jedi, who she's really not the first female Jedi, she's just the first female, like, lead Jedi, as you say, going to the dark side. But, like, honestly, like, a character arc that is good is a character arc that is good, and I think people would accept it. I think that the last movie was not liked very well. It was not well received, and I think they're going to try to play it a little bit more straight-laced in this one. I don't think they want to wrap up on something that isn't well accepted, and I think overall an audience just doesn't want to see their hero go dark unless they know there's something coming next. But she might go dark a little bit and then be saved by Kylo Ren, and that would be...
They could be the first Grey Jedis together.
Exactly. Like, that would be a very...
That'll be sick.
Sick. It would be sick. It would be awesome to see if he came back a little bit and they meet in the middle and save each other. That's a powerful story.
Well, to me, this whole arc from beginning to end of the Skywalker saga has been searching for that balance and the Force. And the Jedi had it wrong because they thought that means only the light side. There needs to be balance there. And so I think one of these characters at least needs to find that middle ground between the two, and then that would be the great bow on top of this saga of the Skywalker saga being the saga of balance to the Force.
Absolutely.
Yeah, because Luke saw it in The Last Jedi. The Jedi have to end because it's not true balance, like you were saying, Brad. Like, it's a lot of cool stuff, and I really hope that JJ does something. I want him to make a movie that everyone will hopefully love, but I do still want him to take risks. Rian Johnson definitely took some risks, did not really
Some
work.
of them didn't pay off. I still don't know why Benicio del Toro was in the movie.
I have no idea.
I have no idea why the whole Canto Bight sequence was in the movie.
I don't know. I will say, though, the use of the Force, I think, is some of the best we've ever seen in all of the movies.
There's a lot of positivity in that film, and unfortunately some glaring mistakes.
Yeah, I think there was just a lot of missteps in the writing, but I would love to do a review on The Last Jedi.
I hope that we do.
And we will. There's some surprises coming. But before we move on, what do you think Rey and Kylo are fighting on?
Oh, it's the Death Star.
Do you think they'll make another one, though?
No, I think it's the wreckage from the Death Star.
They did show it in the first trailer.
Yeah. The first trailer had the wreckage of it in it, and I was like, why are they going to find this? Like, immediately with Star Wars previews, you're like, why this? Why that? Like, I at least am so sucked in right off the cuff to them, like, oh, okay. But I think you're right. Like, why are they going back to the Death Star in that preview? And why does it look like they're fighting on the Death Star? Are they going to make a new one? God, I hope not.
I really don't want
I don't want another one. I think that it's the wreckage from Death Star 2 from Return of the Jedi.
Yeah, I think so too, now that you say it. I think that it was Star Killer Base.
Star Killer Base, yeah.
It is a great weapon. You can destroy 5 planets at once, and then it can absorb the sun of some other planet, and then just do it again. It's a great weapon, but I'm bored.
Yeah.
I've seen it 3 times. Sure, it blows shit up. Great.
I've seen shit blow up.
Exactly.
Michael Bay's like 60, you know?
So I would love to talk about The Mandalorian next. Now, this trailer was insane. The visuals look amazing. I did not expect the visuals to look this good. Like, what were your thoughts?
It almost had like a Terminator feel to it.
Right.
And that's what really sucked me in, was it's like this kind of dark, dreary, apocalyptic, beautiful vision. And I was obviously gonna watch the show, but the trailer is gorgeous, and it is right up my alley.
It's more expensive than any show that Netflix has done.
Clearly.
And it's crazy to me, the production value in this show. The shot whenever he shoots the blast door close on the dude, I am there for all of this.
And
There's everything in this trailer is exactly what I want to see. It looks like Rogue One, which is what I want from the expanded universe of Star Wars. It's why Rogue One is my second favorite Star Wars movie, and I love the universe building beyond the Jedi.
Yes.
And showing us the life of a bounty hunter, getting to see IG-88 in action. Yes. I mean, it's crazy. Bounty hunting is a complicated profession. Like, it's already timeless. I will say I'm not a huge Boba Fett fan. I've never really been one, but me getting into the Mandalorians came from the Clone Wars series, and I was like, oh my god, these guys are fucking awesome. Yeah. So then when I hear about this show, I'm like, first of all, it's a series. It's not going to be some 90-minute movie that you have to throw everything in. It's going to be at least an 8-hour feature just on these bounty hunters, and this is just sick. Like, I mean,
can you imagine spending an hour in this world every week? Something that is done this well, that looks this good, that has what appears to be this much potential. I find lately I'm more excited about the high value series than I am about a lot of movies, because you're gonna get more. You're gonna be able to kind of hang out in this space for longer and see these characters develop, and there's so much more freedom almost with a series and a movie. And this trailer, this may wind up being like my new favorite show if this trailer is any indication of what the show looks like, and I wasn't expecting that. I've watched the trailer 12 times.
Yeah, and Favreau, like, Favreau is such a good storyteller. Yes, dude. Like,
that man's getting around these days.
Oh, yes, he is.
What you doing over there on DC? Come back here.
I think it's warranted. Like, Taika has proven himself.
Yeah, absolutely.
Like, Favreau has definitely proven himself. I can't wait. Like, how dope is this poster?
It's gorgeous.
It's so amazing, and I don't know, man. I can't wait. It's starting pretty much on launch on November 12th, which is amazing. I can't wait. What, we're 2 months away?
Yeah.
Like, I need this right now. So the next thing that I want to talk about is all of the extra reveals that we got about Black Widow at D23. How dope is her costume? We get the classic gold gauntlets, finally.
I love it. I am so excited. Like, I love it.
I want to know what happens to them between Civil War and Infinity War, because I want this costume. You know what I mean?
I know, right? It's so satisfying to see classic Black Widow.
Exactly.
Like, it's so cool. And Taskmaster in the background at the top is just like, gets me so hyped. Florence Pugh front and center. I'm all about it.
You are all about that.
I know love her so much.
Amazing.
She's so good. I want to go see the Midsummer Director's Cut that's playing in the theater.
We will.
I want to talk about how good Red Guardian with his full ass Soviet beard looks.
Right?
I love that. I mean, when outside of Thor, you know, like, beards are kind of not a thing, you know, when you're in your costume. And so when you see him with the top part, which Red Guardian, you can't really see it, but, you know, his costume is so Soviet with the stars all over it. It's so perfectly the Soviet version of Captain America. And just the profile that you see of it, I'm super into it. I'm so excited. And then, of course, my girl Rachel Weisz in the background.
Oh, yeah.
I still think even more that she's going to be Taskmaster.
I'm actually hoping for it.
I really think so.
I actually think that would be amazing.
Super cool.
Now, they did show a little bit of footage at Comic-Con of Black Widow, and it's Black Widow versus Yelena, which is going to be played by Florence Pugh, and a fight with Taskmaster. I can't wait to see this footage. I can't wait to see this movie. I can't wait till we get, like, press badges so we can actually go to these things and see the footage for ourselves, because just reading some of the descriptions, it just sounds awesome.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, what happens to Black Widow after Civil War, where she's separated from Cap and Falcon, that she bumps into people from her past, things that will affect her future? How will it affect her future? You know what I mean? Like, what are your thoughts?
I remember, I think it is actually, is it the end of Civil War or Winter Soldier, where she meets with Captain America in the graveyard, and she says, I've got to go clear some red off my ledger.
That's the end of Winter Soldier.
Winter Soldier. I've always been intrigued by the idea that when she wasn't with the Avengers, she was out there trying to do things that made up for her past. And it's like she only exists right now as an Avenger, and I'm so excited to see her existence outside of that team.
Yes.
And I'm really happy because, I mean, I have a complicated relationship with Black Widow in that I didn't really like her at first and then came to love her and then was really upset by what happened in Endgame to her. And so to be able to get this chunk back, even though it is a prequel, it is a prequel of a time that I'm actually really interested in, and I just think kudos to them for carving out this space in the story for her.
Yeah, most definitely. I can't wait for this. I hope that Red Guardian is actually a good role for David Harbour because he got fucked with Hellboy.
Never should have made that movie.
Yep.
I mean, I think it was a great opportunity for him, but
I think he should have said no.
After you read the script, dude, come on. Like,
I don't give him any passes. You knew what you were doing in that movie. I mean, everyone involved with the original two Hellboys wanted to come back, and the studio was like, let's try something else to make some more money. Like, you knew what you were signing up to.
I mean, Del Toro wanted a lot of money. Del Toro wanted like $250.
Look at it, dude!
For the
just
production
won
budget.
Best Picture.
Give
like,
it to him.
Give him the money. Come on.
That's what I'm saying. Give him the money. Like, let's do this. You know what I mean?
But they wanted to be lazy. It's like, oh, we'll just reboot it. We'll make a super easy script. We won't spend that much on it. And comic book movies are the shit right now, so we'll just make a bunch of money. No,
we'll just give them trash.
Supremely fucking bombed.
Yeah. I'm not a raccoon. I know trash from food. I am a lady.
All right, so next up, I want to talk about Ryan Coogler and Kevin Feige officially announcing Black Panther 2, hitting theaters on May 6th, 2022. Dude, I am so excited about this.
Oh, yeah.
Like, where does T'Challa's story go from here? We see his city go to shambles at the end of Endgame, and then at the end of, at the end of Infinity War, and the end of Endgame, they're trying to rebuild that civilization with everyone that came back from the snap, right? So what happens after that? Do you guys think that they'll actually introduce Namor in Black Panther 2?
That's exactly what I was going to say. That Boss Logic mock-up of the Black Panther 2 Kings.
Yeah.
It's all I want now after seeing that. I want to see it happen so badly, and I think this would be the perfect entry point for Namor.
Yeah.
I loved that throwaway line in Endgame where they tell Black Widow that there was an earthquake at the bottom of the ocean, and she's like, what do we do? And they're like, nothing. It's an earthquake at the bottom of the ocean. And I think a lot of us had rumblings of the submariner in our head at that moment, so I am excited. I would like to see that. I also just wonder where the universe as a whole is going to be in May 2022, because they could do anything at that point. I mean, that's a couple of years out. We may be so far into phase 4 that it may not even, he may already have rebuilt from Infinity War and Endgame at that point, you know? Like, I don't know. I will be much more excited about it closer to it, I think.
I feel like
sure.
I have nearsighted vision.
Anything is possible with it, too, because keep in mind, the multiverse movie with Doctor Strange happens beforehand. So it's literally like anything within the world is possible because the multiverse is going to be introduced.
I have this feeling that Phase 5 is going to rest on that Doctor Strange movie, and it's going to blow everything out of the water.
Yeah.
I am just glad they're making a second Black Panther. I don't think anybody thought they weren't going to, but they seem to have kind of put it on the back burner for a minute.
I think for good reason, too, right? Because, I mean, there's so many things that you want to introduce to expand the universe. You don't want to just continue making sequels just because it was successful. That's what DC would have done. That's what Sony would have done, what Fox would have done. Kevin Feige is a genius. People are going to show up. Like, Black Panther is still in the top 10 highest grossing films of all time. It's the only MCU movie to ever be nominated for Best Picture. It will come, people will show up, but in the right time.
Right.
Yeah.
And I think that's definitely what makes Feige a genius. Now, we get, I believe WandaVision is before this. So we will find out if Shuri was able to rebuild Vision's brain, or is WandaVision's clearly just something that Scarlet Witch made up.
Yeah.
Like a
I mean, maybe
universe
that's
she
why it's
created.
called
Who knows?
WandaVision.
Yeah.
Who knows?
I think that the name is going to turn out to be a pun.
I hope so, because it's a terrible fucking name. If they had just put a slash between Wanda and Vision and still called it WandaVision, like, I would have been okay with that. But the full, like, title is one word, WandaVision. I think it's lame.
Well, so let's jump into that real quick. So with WandaVision, I like the name. It's supposed to be this kind of like Dick Van Dyke Show kind of thing with everything that you know from what's been going on in the MCU. I think it's actually kind of interesting. I really hope they go the route of Scarlet Witch creating this universe.
Yes.
And
Definitely.
this is just what she sees as the perfect world that her and Vision were going to live in. I don't know.
I think that's why it's called WandaVision, because it is Wanda's vision of a perfect world. Like, I think it's going to turn out to be a pun, and I don't think Vision is actually alive in it. Yeah. But we don't know. But I mean, I just think, to your point, like, it is a much better title with a slash in it to make you think this is Wanda plus Vision. But the combination of it as all one word on this kind of Leave It to Beaver style picture of the perfect happy white picket fence family, like, that makes me think it is not what it appears.
Yeah, and with the red glow around the TV, there's something going on with her projection powers and everything. My favorite part of the poster, though, is the hint at the classic Scarlet Witch costume and the shadows in the background. I am real excited to see that actually happen, because she hasn't really had like a costume that you can't see like the silhouette of her costume and be like, oh yeah, that's definitely Scarlet Witch's costume, like in the MCU so far. It's been kind of bland, if I'm going to be honest. So I'm excited to see like an actual superhero costume on her.
I actually loved her Infinity War costume.
I was going to say
Infinity War is pretty cool with the duster coat and everything. Yeah, I
loved it, and I also I have always enjoyed the headpiece for her classic one.
Yes, I do, but
the one piece.
Yeah.
Definitely not. Do not go the Psylocke route. Don't do it.
There's
Please
a reason
don't do
why
that.
lifeguards don't do kung fu, because you can't get your leg up that high in a swimsuit. Things will go into things. And
she can still be sexy in the suit. Like,
she
I love
is sexy in the suit, you know?
The Wasp suit. Like, it is fitting, but it's respectful to a degree.
Definitely.
Both the Wasp and Ant-Man look hot in their suit, okay? And that's saying something, because those are thick suits.
Yeah.
So the next thing that I want to talk about is our first look at the costumes for the Eternals. Like, what did you guys think of these costumes? I actually think they're pretty dope.
I think they're boring.
Okay. Why?
I feel like they look very similar to things we've seen many times before.
In the MCU or just in general?
In the MCU and in general. Like, I think they're very generalized, advanced civilization wears leather and metallic colors costumes. I don't know. I was
but
kind of...
But isn't that okay, though? Like, shouldn't it feel like it started with them, and as time went on...
They look like Asgardians.
People kind of... I mean, to my knowledge, I don't know, but didn't the Eternals obviously come first?
I think so, because they're like immortal beings.
Like, didn't they come before
So you're going to tell me
Odin?
they've been around this long and they can't up their fashion game? I've upped my fashion game in the years I've been on this earth. Come on. It's just a mock-up. Mm-hmm. My first reaction to the costumes was,
Yeah, that's cool. I think once you see it, like, actually in the film, you might enjoy it more, but I mean, I can see where you might not, like, enjoy all of them. I will say, Richard Madden, I don't know if I care for his suit.
That royal blue.
Yeah. I think I have to see it, like, actually, like, in the movie. Yeah. But this
boy
guy,
Kumail over there looking awesome.
Kumail looks great.
I don't love his longer than necessary loincloth.
I think he looks awesome.
Well, you would. You love totally a loincloth, Brad. No, I mean, I don't know. I know they're mock-ups. They're not actually what they are. Things are generally a little bit more interesting when they're three-dimensional. So
well, I'm pretty sure this is exactly what it's going to look like. It's just going to be in actual costumes. I think that was the point of this reveal.
Let's talk, though, about I believe that is the Cersei character all the way at the end in the Emerald Dream.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I want to talk about Gemma Chan and Cersei in a minute, but I do appreciate the updated Cersei costume because anybody who is familiar with Cersei knows that she has the Psylocke affliction in the comics, and that is a very sexy but movement appropriate, she'll never get the flu because she's cold style uniform. And I would say out of the entire row, I would say she's definitely my first one. And then the sort of gold and silver blonde 3 deep is also very good.
I love Angelina Jolie's costume I think it's very majestic and interesting. I don't know. I think
and going blonde on it, I think is cool. It's very warlike for her character. It's nice, you know. The others kind of blend all together. I mean, like Salma Hayek's looks very similar to some of the ones down on the end, but they are all, you know. I don't know where we kind of got this idea that everybody dresses the same when they're on a team, but that is what we go with, so it's fine.
Yeah, sure.
I was excited about the addition of Barry Keoghan, or however you pronounce his name, because I just recently rewatched Dunkirk, and he is so good in Dunkirk.
So I'm not familiar with the Druig character.
Yeah,
Me neither.
He's
I'm
an
not
Eternal.
either.
I'm not big on the Eternals. I don't know who his character is, but yeah, I am excited of his casting. And how could we forget Kit Harington as Dane Whitman, the Black Knight? Interesting.
Not an Eternal, from what I understand.
Yes.
The Black Knight character.
Not an Eternal.
I'm excited to see him and his GOT bro back together. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I love Richard Madden, and I am glad to see him in this movie. I think he's very charismatic. He's great in Bodyguard on Netflix. He was obviously great on Game of Thrones, but I thought that he and Kit Harington had a very interesting chemistry when they were in scenes together on that show. And I want to see if they have any scenes together in the Eternals. I'm excited about having them back on screen together.
I hope they fight each other.
I think he
I want
might
to
be
see Kit Harington just
bad.
get punched in the face.
Because Black Knight has been one of those characters that, depending on who's carrying the mantle, is either a good guy or a bad guy. So I think we haven't gotten a definitive, like, this is the villain of the movie yet announcement.
Very
so
true.
Having Kit Harington come out as being the Black Knight, I'm hoping that he's going to be the antagonist in this movie.
Yeah, interesting.
Now let's talk about Gemma Chan getting another shot at a different Marvel character, though.
Yes, she was in Captain Marvel.
She was
I can't remember
Minerva.
her name. Yeah,
Minerva. So Cersei is very much like a Loki character almost in some instances where she shapeshifts and she causes drama. And a lot of people on the internet were like, I bet that it wasn't really Minerva, it was Cersei, and they're going to tie the Eternals into Captain Marvel because they don't usually cast the same actor in different roles.
Did she survive Captain Marvel?
I'm trying to remember.
I don't think that I don't remember her dying. I think she's there, you know what I mean? But I don't remember. I'll have to watch Captain Marvel again. That won't be a problem for me. I love that movie.
I love that movie.
I love that movie. It was an interesting thing. I, for one, definitely thought Jolie was going to be Cersei. So when she wasn't, and we thought, is Cersei not going to be in the movie? That's crazy.
It's too close to Maleficent, I think, especially with the sequel coming out. I think those characters aren't necessarily similar, but I feel like it would seem just like, oh, well, she's kind of just doing the Maleficent thing and the Cersei
is too
role.
close to Angelina Jolie. Let's be honest. If you had to point to a sexy sorceress who gave you some problems, you'd probably point right at Angelina Jolie.
That's
if you're
Maleficent.
Jen Aniston, you would for sure. You know what I mean? So I think I applaud her for taking Athena instead of Cersei. I think that's a good choice for her, and I applaud them for using Gemma Chan as Cersei because that comes out of left field, and I'm excited for it. I love Gemma Chan.
Yeah, and she's stunningly gorgeous.
Oh yeah,
and
she
a
is
super good actress.
Yeah,
she's
very talented.
I've seen her do so many different things, and she has great range. And it just no one thought it was going to be her, and that's the best part of it.
Yeah, for sure. So, something I am really excited about. So, Disney Plus is adding live-action versions of Miss Marvel, She-Hulk, and Moon Knight. How insane is this?
This was to me the most exciting announcement.
Yeah,
for sure.
Same here.
Yeah, like this is absolutely insane. How will they introduce She-Hulk?
I don't know. That's the one I'm least interested in the three of them.
Really, I am so interested in it from I'm a huge courtroom drama sucker, and so I can't wait to see what happens.
I forgot she was a lawyer.
Yeah.
Lady Hulk lawyer.
And so I'm hoping that this ends up being the kind of Law and Order MCU version.
I just remember how they went down the bikini model route with her for a long time too, and she was green. She was the super hot version of Arnold Schwarzenegger, and her stories got very boring there for a long time. I'm here for it. For me, Moon Knight and Miss Marvel, I'm way more invested in.
Moon Knight is the one that I am the most excited for because it has the potential to be the most fucked up Marvel thing that we've gotten to this point.
That's why I'm not excited for it. And I'll tell you why. So they've already said that they're not going to have anything that's close to like adult R-rated stuff.
Then they shouldn't do
Disney
Moon
Plus.
Knight.
Yeah.
So Moon Knight is not going to be as dark as we want it to be. So I have a real issue with that.
Moon Knight is Batman on an acid trip.
Yeah.
Like, Moon Knight is Batman 20 years later when he's
Multiple
way
personalities
more
and-
messed
Yeah.
up.
Schizophrenia and all of that.
I'm sad now.
I mean, they could still find moments to be dark, but I don't think it's going to be as like
Yeah. I don't
raw
want a
as I want it to be.
family-friendly Moon Knight.
Yeah, I don't either.
I think that they have a really good opportunity to explore mental health in the MCU
For sure,
too,
yeah.
and how they choose to portray that, because that's so critical to the Moon Knight character. So I don't know, I'm there for it. I can't wait to see what they do with it. I love what one of my heroes, Max Bemis, the lead singer of the band Say Anything, he's been writing for Moon Knight for a while now, and he really focuses on that aspect of Moon Knight. And because he deals with a lot of that himself, and so it's really interesting that they got someone who has had a lot of experience in mental health to write for Moon Knight, and I hope that they pull from some of his stories for this series.
Yeah, so She-Hulk is my most anticipated out of these three. I love She-Hulk. I really hope obviously I don't think they'll try to do the Bruce Banner cousin thing, because it
I
just
hope not,
wouldn't
because I
fit.
never understood that.
It was really dumb. It's like, oh, she's his cousin, and he gave her a blood transfusion because she was dying, and that's how she turned into She-Hulk. Like,
Boy, let me die. Gamma radiation my ass.
I just don't think it'll work, even if they tried. But I don't know how she'll be changed into She-Hulk, though. But smarter people than me are going to figure that out, which is why they already announced it. I am also really excited about Miss Marvel.
That's mine.
This
That's my number
is
one.
the first Muslim, like, Middle Eastern female character in Marvel Comics.
Yeah.
And she has the ability to shapeshift. She can stretch just like Mr. Fantastic.
She's an Inhuman.
She pretty much.
No, she is. Like, her character background in it is that after Black Bolt releases God, I'm a nerd. Releases the Terrigon Mist out because he wants to find all the Inhumans. That's when she comes into her power.
That's right.
And I was very excited for the Inhuman TV show, and it was trash.
Yeah.
Again, I'm not a raccoon. I know my trash. And
I refused. I need to do it to myself, though.
you can watch, as I did, the first 4 episodes. You will shower and you will move on. You will not return. So the idea that they're pulling that Inhuman thread again in the Marvel universe is very exciting to me. I will say, I'm most excited about Miss Marvel. My dear friend Henry, you know him. He's wonderful. Friend of the podcast. So, hey, Henry. He gave me the original Miss Marvel graphic novel during a time when I was going through some not so great times in my life. And I just fell super hard into it. She's such a optimistic, happy, brave character, even though she's facing not only like bigger than life issues, she's also facing those real issues of, xenophobia and people who are, just against her because she's a woman or because she's Muslim. And the comic handles it with such grace, but I am a little like, I hope they do her powers right in a live action, because what is it, Biggin that she yells?
Yeah.
Biggin might not go over well if the CGI is not perfect. You know what I mean? Like her giant fists and stuff. But I'm here for it. When they announced it, I just was like, this is a freaking dream. You know what I mean? Like, these 3, no one knew they were coming. They hid them until D23. They just shocked the shit out of me, and I'm here for it.
Yeah, and I mean, they've also said that these shows they take place in the MCU, and they will eventually cross over at some point. And we know Miss Marvel is a huge Captain Marvel fan.
Yeah.
So that will be interesting to see them interact with each other.
I mean, when she first got hit with her powers, she shapeshifted into Carol Danvers.
Yeah.
And then didn't know what was going on. I want to look like Carol Danvers for a day. I just want to see what I can get up to. You know what I mean? What did blondes got that I don't?
So next up we have Loki finally gets a director. Kate Herron has not directed any films, but this is a series. She did Sex Education, 5 by 5. I don't know if you guys are familiar with those series. I've never seen them. So which one have you seen, Brad?
Sex Education on Netflix.
Is it good?
Yeah, it's hilarious.
Did you feel educated?
I did, because Gillian Anderson was in it, and I love her.
Oh my god! I'll let her educate me on anything.
I don't know. I'm excited. Now that you said that, I'm really, really excited to see what she can do with a character like Loki, because I feel like you can just take that humor that's already built in and just build off of that and do all of the. He is the god of mischief, so he can do some really crazy shit. And Tom Hiddleston is he's just awesome.
Well, and the poster is killer. Like his little crouch position poster. I've spent so much time looking at like what is in the background and are there any clues in this. I like it a lot better than the logo,
so
which you
this
two
is actually
love.
This is from Dark World, I think. I actually made this.
You made that? I've spent 4 days looking at it, James. A, I love you. Good job. B, fuck you. I was like, what is this?
It's going to be awesome.
What is these statues in the background? You know what those statues are, James?
So next up, we are going to talk about the Lady and the Tramp trailer.
All right.
What did you guys think?
I thought it looks adorable.
It's not for me.
It's not for me.
I love dogs, but not for me.
I am there for it. I loved this movie growing up. I watched this was one of them that was in constant rotation at my house. So to see the live action Cocker Spaniel and the voice cast is fantastic for it. You got Tessa Thompson, Justin Theroux. You got Sam Elliott in there, Janelle Monáe. Like who's
Sam Elliott?
I think he's going to be the Scotty.
Oh yeah,
in it. If I was casting it, that's who I would cast him as for sure. But I think it just looks. I think it looks charming. I think it looks like it's going to be a very sweet movie.
Yeah.
I haven't really been that interested in any of their live actions based off of their cartoons, and maybe that's because I wasn't a Disney person growing up. But it looks really sweet. It looks really cute. I hope that it does well. I can't see myself rushing out to buy tickets to it as soon as it hits the theater.
Well,
it
it's
looks
going to be on
good,
Disney
though.
Plus.
That's what I meant. You know what I mean? Like I can't. I'm not going to like freak out about seeing it, but it looks really good. It's just not for me.
Yeah, I'll see it, but yeah, it's not necessarily for me. I haven't seen the animated since I was a kid.
Yeah.
And I've never had a need to revisit it, but I'm glad it's coming. People will be excited about it, so.
It doesn't look frightening. You know what I mean?
It doesn't look like the fucking Cats trailer.
Yes. Okay, that's what I was going to say, though. Like, it doesn't look like they did a bad job on... Yeah. And I love the idea that the tramp dog character is an actual stray. They went and they got one from the pound. Like, I love that. That's not my style movie.
Yeah. So next up, I wanted to talk about the What If series.
Yes.
And they revealed that one of them is going to be Peggy Carter as Captain Britain. Holy shit. They also released an image, and how great does she look?
She looks super good. I wish I looked as good as that cartoon as a person.
The animation style, if this is what every episode looks like, oh my god, it's going to be gorgeous.
It's like sharp and clean. I don't know. It's just good, right? I don't know how to use any more adjectives on it.
How cool would it be if we got a different animation style in every What If episode?
That's what I want. I would love to see a completely different animation style for each one so that it could be unique, because it is all What If. It's a different look on reality, and I don't know. It's going to be sick.
See, and didn't they say that it's 23 episodes, each one based off of one of the 23 movies asking a what if question? I remember reading that somewhere online.
Did not read that.
I haven't read that, but if that's true, that's awesome.
Yeah, if that's correct, that might just be a rumor, but that's I remember reading that and being like, okay, that's a really cool concept. Here's my question, though. How do we deal with Spider-Man in What If?
Because Disney don't own him no more.
So... is Spider-Man going to be involved in any of the What If episodes? Because Spider-Man is like majorly in a lot of the What If comic books.
I mean,
all the ones that I have are Spider-Man based, actually. Like a good majority of them.
Legally, at the time of this recording, they just can't.
Yeah.
It just sucks.
I want to check in on you guys emotionally. How are you doing about the Spider-Man news, Brad?
Not well.
I'm not okay. Do you guys just want to talk about that right now?
Sure.
Yeah, I'm not okay, but I have to say I saw this coming, because from a business standpoint, I think it makes sense. It's like, all right, we shit the bed 4 out of 5 movies, even though they made money. Critically, no one really likes them. So let's make this deal. The MCU is popular. Let's get Spider-Man in. We get this great collaborative effort. We make these great movies. We keep 95% of the distribution money. So we're making all of the money and we're getting all of the exposure. Venom made a bunch of money. It made almost $900 million. So it's like, okay, maybe we know what we're doing. Not really, because I think the first 45 minutes of Venom is garbage.
Yeah.
But once we get Venom, it's great. But now that they have the ability to get Spider-Man back because the contract is up, why share him again? You want more money? I want to keep all the money and ride the high of what you built, because Tom Holland is still signed to Sony for 2 more films. So they can do whatever they want and just ride what happened from the MCU and do their own thing. I still think they'll fuck it up, though.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
And once they fuck it up, they'll realize, all right, we'll just give Marvel Studios what they want. We'll just do 50-50. At least this way we can make money. People will like our characters. And I think the deal will be even better from there, so that they can include Venom and include some of the characters that they didn't have access to with the previous deal. Thoughts?
Yeah. My hope is that, I mean, Sony is not a non-profit organization.
Yes.
They have to think. I mean, they're not Habitat for Humanity. They have to think about their bottom line and making money. Sony's not had a great couple of years when it comes to the characters that they do own. I think that they're not going to do a great job, and I think that it's going to lead to a much more inclusive MCU universe where they have access to more characters. Like you said, Venom is cool. Like, I didn't love the first half of it. I don't ever really dislike what Tom Hardy is doing, but I agree with you. It's the second half of Venom that is like, oh shit.
So much fun.
So much fun. And when she is that was cool. You know what I mean? Like, and I don't even like care about Venom, like from a comic book standpoint. I never bought Venom comics. Now I'm like, let's look into this. What does he do? Oh my God, there's a red one? Shit.
Yeah.
So
there's gonna be Carnage.
Yes. I love Carnage. I didn't know I loved Carnage, but I love him.
There's a new Carnage run called Absolute Carnage.
Yeah.
I have the first issue, and it is fucking awesome.
Yeah.
Is it?
It is awesome. I'll show it to you once we're done recording. It is sick.
So, much like you, I think they're going to shit the bed a little bit, and then we're going to get back into maybe a little bit of a better world. And you know what? Anybody who's ever shit the bed knows the next day is usually better.
We hope. We hope it's better. Because, I mean, how do you follow up, like... Because, I mean, technically they didn't follow up Spider-Man 3 with The Amazing Spider-Man 2, but it was only 1 movie removed. And you made 2 of the worst comic book movies ever made.
Yeah.
It is absolutely insane. But I would like to move on and talk about the first image that we got of the Falcon and the Winter Soldier. Bucky has cut his hair. He looks like how he did back during the war. I love the costume. If you look at the comics, it's like an updated version of a costume that he has in the comics. And Falcon's costume is exactly how I envisioned it.
Yes.
It's pretty much the MCU version of what that Captain America #1 looks like with Falcon, and it's awesome.
I cannot wait to see Anthony Mackie just kick the shit out of this. He is going to rule as Captain America.
So he said he's not Captain America.
He's gone back and forth on it so many times, though.
I think for the sake of his character and the future of his career in the MCU, he's Falcon, and Captain America gave him the shield because he trusts him. I think this is them building up Falcon. Captain America has passed on. He's not in it anymore. This is about Falcon. Like,
cool
what do you guys think?
I think whether we call him Falcon or Captain America, Anthony Mackie kills it in this role.
Oh, yeah.
And he is such a heroic character to me. You know what I mean? And I think it's good that Bucky has him. Like, I'm here for this relationship building. I love this poster. Both men look fantastic. Okay, let's talk about that. I love the haircut, Sebastian. You're doing good. I also like the message that the like haircut and the clean shaven face gives about where he is emotionally and mentally. You know, like there is a lot of, you can put a lot of stock in the fact that it looks like he cares about himself again. And I like that. You know, I think Winter Soldier was maybe not given the best plot lines in all of the movies, and he wasn't really honored that much, but he was there and he was good. So? I know that you have made some good points towards that, and I always take what you say to heart, and I do think maybe he was sidelined a little bit in Infinity War and Endgame. You know what I mean? Like,
he's only in like a couple of shots, and
all he does is shoot
a gun.
Fucking gun. He has a vibranium arm. I want to see him grab someone by the fucking face, crush a skull, or hold someone by the head and shoot him in the head. Something.
Yeah.
All he does is shoot an automatic weapon, and he's getting these reloads from somewhere.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Unlock that
he just has
infinite ammo
bullets.
code. But I'm really like, I'm just really excited about this. At this point, the Miss Marvel and the Falcon and Winter Soldier, like, they're so high on my list. I think they both look great, and their chemistry together, even interviews. When they were doing the rounds for Infinity War and Endgame, I can watch their interviews all day on YouTube.
Yeah,
and I do, because I refuse to do my job.
Now, did you guys see the Noel trailer?
I did. I didn't care for it.
Like, what are your thoughts? Like, I love Bill Hader. Anything he does, like him trying to be the new Santa, like, this is ridiculous.
I feel like Anna Kendrick would play me in a movie about my life, so I feel very connected to her.
I could see that.
But I've seen Fred Claus.
Yeah, it does have a kind of been there, done that feel to it, but I love this cast, and I love Billy Eichner, and so I am 100% going to watch this just for Billy Eichner, if nothing else.
Yeah, I will see anything Bill Hader does. He's just so funny to me. I can't wait to see him in It Chapter 2.
Oh my God, I'm so
in
here
like
for
a
it.
week from this recording. I am losing my shit. But yeah, anything he does, I'm with it. It might not be my thing because I don't care about Christmas. I don't care about Christmas movies or Christmas TV shows, but I mean, this looks funny.
Or buying presents for other people.
I still do, but I don't care about the tradition of Christmas.
Societal traditions.
But I think it looks funny. I'll give it a shot. I'm paying for Disney Plus anyway.
Why not?
Right. I mean, it's there. I will say this. Oh, God. What I want to see Christmas related in August is very different than what I want to watch Christmas related in December. I'll watch The Christmas Prince. I don't care. From December 1st to December 31st, I'll watch some trash. So ask me again on December 1st if I'm into this movie. Right now I'm not. But I tell you, on December 2nd of last year, I was watching Fred Claus on TBS, so I have no taste the month of December.
I will say, during December, I watched Jingle All the Way.
Hell yeah,
that
you
movie
do.
Is so funny.
With the Turbo Man dog. My son Jamie.
I can't wait to do some Christmas related trash with you guys in December. This is going to be good.
Now I think we have to review Jingle All the Way during Christmas. Alright, so one series that I am super excited for Disney Plus, they are partnering with National Geographic to give us The World According to Jeff Goldblum. Jeff Goldblum is one of the most interesting people that I want to meet in this world. I just love the way his mind works. He's always himself no matter what, and I love that guy. What are your thoughts on this?
Jeff Goldblum did a podcast. It was Dax Shepard's podcast, and I listened to it, and it was just his voice in my ears. And I was so uncomfortable that I turned it off and could not continue. He just is like, let's see. Oh, yeah. When you say words like that, it's scrumptious. I feel like I've been touched in my no-nos. Like, it was so off-putting, and I haven't been able to look at it in the same sense.
He did Conan O'Brien's podcast, and
maybe it was Conan's. It was Conan's and not Dax Shepard's.
Gets into it, like, with him. He starts talking with, like, the same cadence. He's like, I just can't help myself.
I feel like I've been intimate with Jeff Goldblum after that, and I don't want to call him the next day. Like, that's how I feel about Jeff Goldblum. So this will be on in my household because my fiance loves Jeff Goldblum. He thought the same podcast that I listened to that made me think that I had accidentally married him in Vegas, he thought it was great.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite podcasts I've listened to all year.
I just had a very different reaction. I just felt like he should have bought me dinner first.
Watching Jeff Goldblum, Lola, do you watch Hot Ones on YouTube?
No.
Okay, so
I'm not cool. Stop pretending like I am.
I think you'd really enjoy it. But Jeff Goldblum is on an episode of Hot Ones. The host Sean Evans, he interviews people while eating really, really hot wings.
Oh God!
And he is
it's hilarious.
He is an incredible host. I want to meet him one day just so I can talk to him about how he's so like comfortable in what he does with these people that he grew up with as heroes. You know what I mean?
And also ask him how, his intestines are doing after following
He gets asked that question.
Everyone asks, and they're like, so how was after the show?
Cool. I'm not original. Let's move on. I made a diarrhea joke on the pod.
Sometimes he has to record like 3 episodes in a day. So it's like, oh my God, dude. But I think it's right here. Jeff Goldblum. For you guys listening, I have all of these trailers on a monitor and we're kind of watching them as we talk about them. But Jeff Goldblum was on Hot Ones, and watching him trying to eat hot wings, vegan hot wings, it was the funniest shit ever.
It's so good.
So next up, I want to talk about, we finally get our first look at Emma Stone as Cruella De Vil. Now, I will say, I never put it together that her name is pretty much Cruel Devil.
Really?
I never caught it.
Oh my God.
Because I never looked at her name spelled out on anything. And then I looked at it online, I'm like, oh, well, that's original.
Sometimes when I know I'm being a dick, but I'm fine with it, I sing the Cruella De Vil theme song in my head.
So what do you guys think?
She doesn't scare you, no evil thing will. I'm at the grocery store hitting kids with my basket.
So this is supposed to take place in, like, I think they said,
The
like,
70s.
the 70s.
The punk scene.
Yeah, the punk scene, and it's supposed to be kind of a little bit before she's the super evil woman that we know from the animated, but I think this image is sick.
I do too.
It's fantastic.
She looks great. I love dogs. You got me with dogs. I think it looks great.
She does want to skin those dogs, though, James.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, yes.
And we also got
forget
the
that piece?
announcement that Emma Thompson is going to be in this movie.
Right, yeah.
Which I am always there for Emma
I
Thompson.
got my 2 favorite Emmas. Mm-hmm. I'm excited about it. I think she's got a... do you guys know the designer, Alexander McQueen? He designed a lot of Cher's costumes in the 70s, and he was very influential, and I feel like she's got kind of that look, which is great. A lot of people were mad about the look on Twitter, but then again, I don't know that a lot of people are ever happy on Twitter.
True.
But
true.
I'm very into this. I actually didn't know that this was a thing until they released this. I wasn't up on my news. I didn't know it was coming, and so
It was just a rumor. It was like, they're looking at Emma Stone for possibly doing Cruella De Vil. Now we have a May 28th, 2021 release date with an image. Like,
yeah, I love it.
Let's do it.
Definitely here for it. I like Fedora Man in the background.
Right. So did you guys pay attention to any of the Pixar Disney stuff? Like,
yes.
What are you guys excited for?
Raya and the Last Dragon.
Yeah.
Oh my
Most
God.
definitely.
I'm Aquafina. She's got me. I will watch her in absolutely anything. If you haven't seen The Farewell yet, oh my God, The Farewell is one of the best films to come out all year, and she is phenomenal in it. So getting to see that she's not only going to be a part of the MCU, she's going to be in a Disney movie also. Super, super excited about it.
Do you know much about the plot of this movie?
I don't.
No.
Yeah, I didn't hear that much. Obviously, it's supposed to be about this character trying to track down the last dragon in this mystical world. Like, they did release, I think it was 1 or 2 promotional images. I forgot to add those to this, but I don't know. It looks interesting. I love dragons, so anything with dragons, you'll get me into it. Yeah.
I don't know why that made me laugh. I'm just like, here for dragons.
I'm all about the dragons. Lola, was there anything else with the Disney Pixar movies you were looking forward to?
I'm ready to sob my way through Onward.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm ready to just watch that on the just bucket of popcorn, bag of Kleenex, bag of them, guys, and just cry my way through it. That looks like Up came for me on an emotional level that I was not ready for, and I'm not mad about it, okay? And this looks like it's going to have the same effect of, like, sad but uplifting and just very beautiful.
Yeah, I'm really excited for Onward. I'm really, really excited for Soul also. Soul looks great. Jamie Foxx, Tina Fey. You got 9 Inch Nails doing the soundtrack for it, which is going to be awesome.
Is Fincher doing this movie?
I know, right? So I love Trent Reznor and Atticus Ross as composers. I think that they've put out some of the absolute best film scores that we've gotten in the past 15 years. So I can't wait to see what they do with the Pixar movie. I'm also really excited for the Monsters at Work Disney Plus series. Getting the original voices back for at least the pilot of it. Hopefully they'll be throughout the series, because it seems to be focused on this new character played by Ben Feldman, and his mother played by Aisha Tyler, who I love.
Oh, I love her.
So, yeah, I'm really excited for that. I'm excited for Muppets Now. I love the Muppets. I just rewatched the first Muppet movie, the one with Jason Segel, the other night. Still holds up, still hilarious. But
Brad at home watching the Muppet movie.
It's hilarious.
Just I love tequila shot every time a Muppet laughs.
I'm really excited for that show. I can't wait for. I've got Cruella in my notes. Excited for that. But yeah, Soul is probably the one that I'm most excited for from the Disney Pixar front, I think.
Yeah,
I'm excited about Frozen 2.
Oh yeah,
Frozen 2 I'm excited about the announcement of Evan Rachel Wood and Sterling K. Brown.
So I've still never seen Frozen.
Oh man,
I will say incredible. I don't feel like Frozen would be something that would pull James in. You know what I mean? Like, I've seen it 94 times because I have 3 nieces. And it's so funny because my brother has 2 girls, and the older girl is constantly like, you know why else is mean? Because she's got a little sister. Little sisters are the worst. Like, she's so dark. She's like 10 and she shops exclusively at Hot Topic. I'm obsessed with this child. But I do really enjoy Frozen. There's a lot of people who are like, Frozen is a terrible film for kids. It is not. I don't believe that. And when they announced Evan Rachel Woods is going to be in it and Sterling K. Brown, I know they're taking the sequel very seriously.
Yeah, definitely.
And that makes me feel good.
Yeah, Sterling K. Brown is a great actor. I don't know what the fuck he was doing in The Predator.
I haven't seen that because I just wanted to stay clean.
Forgot about that.
I don't know what he was doing in The Predator, but I love anything else that guy does. And I don't know, I might actually just watch Frozen so I can see Frozen 2, because I haven't seen Moana either.
Wow, Moana's incredible too.
I'm not big on movies that have a lot of singing.
Same.
So it just
I don't even care if it's The Rock doing the singing. I'm just not really here for it. But Moana, again, 3 nieces. It's a great film.
Yeah, I am a musical fiend. I love musicals.
I do not like musical.
I love both of those movies.
You can take my fiance to see Jersey Boys because I'm not doing that with him.
I'm excited for it.
Was there anything as far as like movies or TV go that you guys wanted to talk about that we missed?
Yes.
Okay.
I've got 2 big ones.
Okay, hit me.
The Cassian and K2SO show.
Holy shit, I missed that.
You didn't know about this?
No.
Okay.
Do you know about this? Let me tell you about this.
The Adventures of Cassian and Andor and K2SO.
What?
They brought out both Alan Tudyk and, why am I blanking right now, Diego Luna.
Yeah.
Out on stage for it to announce that it's an untitled show right now, but it is happening. We're going to see the adventures of the 2 of them before the events of Rogue One.
I'm here for it.
Sick.
Yeah.
What?
I love those 2 guys. I loved their chemistry. I mean, one's a robot, but Alan Tudyk just gives it so much.
Oh, yeah.
K2SO is my favorite android, dude. Like,
well, there you go. We're gonna get a series with him.
That's awesome.
And then the number one thing that came out of D23 for me, the Obi-Wan series.
Right. I have that on my list, and I completely scrolled right by it. Obi-Wan. How dope is that? Kathleen Kennedy and Ewan McGregor came out on stage to officially announce the Obi-Wan series. Like, dude, what?
Seriously, what? Because he's not the same age, and he's not aging well.
They missed an opportunity because he should have come out on stage and just said, hello there. Right? That would have been the greatest thing ever. But I'm excited for it. It takes place 8 years after Revenge of the Sith. So I'm really excited to see that. I'm excited to see if he's been on Tatooine this whole time, just watching over Luke from the distance, or if he's going to be doing any other travels. Like, could he go back to Camino at some point? I don't know.
I will say I had a really interesting conversation with the man I've suckered into marrying me over dinner a few nights ago, where we were talking about that reaction between Darth Vader and Obi-Wan in A New Hope, where he was like, it just seems like very it's a very anticlimactic. Like the last time they saw each other, he was cutting off his legs and throwing him in a volcano, and now they look like they're running into each other at Starbucks. And I was like, but they could have run into each other. Like, we don't know what happened between that moment and the moment in A New Hope. So I am very excited to see if we get that backstory. Like, what was he doing?
Yeah.
Did he continue fighting? Was he going up against Darth Vader?
We've seen pieces of it on the TV shows.
Right.
But to actually get an in-depth look at what's going on, what he's been up to between the events of those two movies, I just cannot wait for it. And I love Ewan McGregor. I'll watch Ewan McGregor do anything, and especially if that's involving Star Wars.
Yeah, for sure. I can't wait to see this series. I think that Ewan McGregor was the best part of the prequels, besides the overall arc. And how am I blanking on his name? Emperor Palpatine, the actor. Ian McDiarmid. Oh my god, I love this guy. When he came out at Comic-Con and they played The Rise of the Sky.
It again.
Oh my god, I lost it. I rewound that part of him saying that at least 20 times.
It's so good.
I love that guy. I love the Emperor. I just need it right now. Was there anything else? Because I wanted to talk about the attractions that they're adding to Disney.
I want to talk about the snack foods. Sorry. Have you guys seen it? Churro lightsabers? Come on.
It's amazing.
It's amazing. These, like, the Wookiee cake. It's like a cupcake. And the thing is, I'm allergic to wheat, so I can't even eat any of these things. I'm just going to be following children around the theme park, watching them eat it. Nah, I'm going to get arrested day one. But no, the theme park, my goodness. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, they have, like, Avengers World. They're going to have a Doctor Strange experience, a Spider-Man experience. And it's supposed to be more interactive with the audience, too. Like, they might have, like, web shooters or some shit like that. It's going to be nuts.
I've had web shooters before. I've had a cold. So
did I say Guardians of the Galaxy already?
You haven't, but I am excited about that ride.
Oh, man, that is going to be
because,
sick.
They turned Tower of Terror into a Guardians of the Galaxy ride. That I think is basically just Tower of Terror, but with a
just
raccoon.
Guardians themed.
Like, I'm very excited for it, though. Like, I think it's going to be really cool. I love Tower of Terror.
It was my favorite for a long time.
When I worked at Disney and we had passes to go every day.
Learning something new about James.
God, working for Disney was the worst thing you could possibly imagine. Because, I think the workers have to suffer so that the people who enjoy the parks can truly enjoy it. Yeah. I've had to pick up diapers off of a food tray. Those were terrible days.
You see, the next time I want to definitely not ever have to take kids to Disney.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a place for children.
Like a fun thing to do.
Epcot's a lot of fun. I love going. I just pulled up some footage from the Guardians of the Galaxy ride, and I think it looks sick.
It is literally Tower of Terror, but just redesigned as a Guardians of the Galaxy tower, and I want to go to there.
Yeah. What are your favorite things to do at Disney attractions? Like, I love Epcot. I love the experience in the ball. Space Mountain's a lot of fun. Yes, I said experience in the ball.
And I laughed at it like a 12-year-old. Guys, I haven't been to Disney in so long. I wouldn't know. Yeah. I remember they had Dove ice cream bars shaped like Mickey Mouse head on a stick, and I love that. And I got Mickey Mouse waffles, and apparently that's why I'm chunky, because all of my memories are around food.
Food related.
What I will say is I have always been more of a Universal Studios fan than a Disney fan. And that was because, the last time, it was maybe 2 or 3 years ago, I was at Harry Potter Land in Universal Studios, and they have the Marvel world there. I have so many pictures of it. So the idea that Disney is now going to incorporate that into their theme parks is going to make me want to go there. Like, I already want to go to the Star Wars world. I really want to do the Marvel world when it comes. I'm a huge roller coaster fan, and I never
Same.
felt like Disney had that, you know? So I
Space
stuck
Mountain,
with...
it's insane.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, you're just in the dark. You can close your eyes
Going
on
really
any
fast.
ride, and you're in the dark. You know what I mean? So, I mean, I am excited about it. I got to start saving a lot of money. I might be there in 5 years. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
But if anybody wants to fund my trip, so I'll videotape it for you guys.
All right, so that pretty much wraps up everything that I wanted to talk about the things that came out at D23. Do you guys have anything else before we wrap up?
No, this is everything that I wanted to talk about. This was really a lot of fun. And
oh, yeah.
I mean, both this conversation and D23 were just a lot of fun.
Yeah, it was so much fun. I love all of the reveals coming out of D23. Quick recap, we got the Rise of Skywalker trailer, poster, Obi-Wan, we got some Black Widow footage that we could, well, not footage, but the poster. We also talked about Black Panther 2, the Eternals, the new series coming to Disney+. This is going to be a really fun time for just people who love media. Disney+ is going to be worth it. I don't care if they drive up the price to like $15. I'll pay it.
I got 30 years to figure it out.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be very beneficial to so many shows, so many movies that you're going to have access to in one central location. So I'm for it. Guys, thank you so much for listening to this episode. This was so much fun. We have a lot of movies coming up that we want to review, going up until Halloween. Pretty much every episode after this is going to be all horror based. It's going to be really fun. Then after Halloween, we're going to get into some sci-fi stuff so that we can talk about each trilogy of Star Wars movies leading up to the Rise of Skywalker. So stay tuned for that. Best one, worst one, we're going to be doing a lot of stuff. The next episode is going to be on David Fincher. That's going to be a lot of fun. I have a very special guest coming in for that. So head on over to patreon.com/C4Spoilers to get a look at that. Make sure you're following us all over social media at C4Spoilers. You can find pretty much everything we do at carefulforspoilers.com. Again, thank you guys so much for listening, and we will see you guys next time.